My ex dumped me for a coworker of his, and I got my revenge without even knowing it. Last year, I had an argument with my boyfriend of 6 years. We lived together, and for the past few weeks, he would go out at night and either come back very late or would not come back at all. He kept using work as an excuse, but I felt it in my bones that there was another woman involved. But I just couldn't prove it. I had built my life around this man. He was my whole world. I could feel him pulling away and I didn't know what to do. I just couldn't imagine a life without him. He was not perfect and he had cheated on me once in the past. But from what I was hearing from my friends, all the men were like this. No, no, no. All the men are not like that. So even though he was not everything I wanted in a man, and we argued a lot sometimes, especially in the past few years, he was still the man I had chosen to spend the rest of my life with. And I had already spent 6 years with him at this point. I felt like there was no one else out there for me. One day, as he was leaving the house at night, I decided to follow him, and he drove straight to his workplace. I felt so stupid for having doubted him. He has been telling me the truth all this while. So as I was driving back home, I decided to get him some of his favorite snacks from a supermarket close by. We had argued before he left for work that night, so I wanted to surprise him with the snacks and apologize for doubting him. But I entered his office only to find him kissing a female coworker passionately on his desk. I shouted, dropped the snack on the floor, and slammed the door on my way out. He came home about 30 minutes later. He apologized to me and told me he has not been happy with me for some time now. And without me saying a word, he told me he wanted us to break up for some time. This man just cheated on me, and instead of him to beg me and ask for forgiveness, he was rather breaking things up with me. I was so shocked that I didn't know what to say. He packed his bag and left our house that night. I felt like I was dying. The only thing I could do was cry and cry. And the funny thing was, and the funny thing about this whole situation was that I would take this man back if he comes back and apologizes to me. That was how pathetic my life was. In my brain, I was thinking how I was supposed to start all over again with someone else. Like, where do I start from? And I loved this man, and at least I knew him. I didn't know this new person I was going to meet or how he was going to treat me. I didn't hear from my boyfriend for one whole week. I think he even blocked my number because I couldn't reach him through his phone. And this was a blessing in disguise because I would have cried and begged him to come back. He came home the next week when I wasn't at home, packed more of his things and left the house. That day when I got home and I realized more of his things were gone, I felt like my heart was going to explode from my chest. I didn't sleep that night. I just cried and cried and cried. 2 days later, I received a text from a friend of ours. She asked me if I knew that my boyfriend was dating another woman. Apparently, he had made his relationship official with his co-worker. At this point, I had not eaten for almost 2 days. I was a mess and my whole body was in pains. And in that moment, the only thing I could think about was the fact that I didn't want to lose my man. Since I couldn't reach him via his phone and I didn't know where he stays at this point, the next thing I could think of doing was to go to his workplace. So, with my eyes red and puffy, I managed to take my bath, changed my clothes, and drove to his workplace. When I got to his workplace, he was not there, so I had to sit in the reception area to wait for him. And I sat there for almost 3 hours waiting for him. After some time, he entered into the reception area, walking hand in hand with his new girlfriend. My heart started beating in my chest. I stood up and walked towards him. Immediately he saw me. He asked the lady to go inside. Then he pulled me outside. He told me to go and that he would come to me when he was ready to talk to me. I just burst into tears right in front of him, and he didn't even care. He just walked away from me and left me crying outside. I knew I was acting like a fool, but I just couldn't control myself. Hi! If you've watched this video up to now, it means you like the video and you would like to come back for more. So please do well to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so that whenever I drop another interesting story, you'll be one of the first persons to get notified. And if you're my returning viewer, I appreciate your support. Thank you so much for always coming back to support my page. Let's get back to the story. I knew I was not going to be able to drive my car in that situation. I couldn't even stand up because I was so weak. I squatted down and took out my phone to book a ride. That was when I heard a voice asking me if I wanted a lift. I looked up and I saw a man I have never seen before. I was so tired to say no, so I just nodded yes. I was so messed up to the extent that I was taking a lift from a stranger, someone I didn't know. He introduced himself as Timmy. I entered into his car without saying a word, and immediately he asked me if I was okay. I burst into tears and started speaking in gibberish. I didn't even understand most of the things I was saying. He tried to get me to calm down. He asked me if I had eaten and I said no. He drove me straight to a restaurant close by and bought me food. I was not in the mood of eating, but when I told him I had not eaten for 2 days, he forced me to eat. Then he drove me to my apartment, and he also instructed someone to bring back my car to my apartment. He took my number and called me the next day to check up on me. I didn't pick his call when he called the first time. I was just not in the mood. When he called the second time, I only picked his call just to say thank you for yesterday because he really saved my life. But this man, he didn't stop calling. He called me every single day after that. And before I knew it, I started expecting his calls every day. He took me out again one month later. And at this point, I was beginning to get over my boyfriend. But I was not ready to date anyone anytime soon. And this man waited for me. He waited for me for 6 months till I was ready to date again. And throughout this period, he called me every single day to check up on me. And on days I have not eaten, he would buy food and bring it over. Aww. He would send me motivational text messages every single day. I gradually fell in love with this man. I didn't want to rush into anything. That is why I waited for 6 months. He made me so happy. One day I was in the house with my new man when I had a knock on the door. It was my ex-boyfriend. And the first thing he said to me when I opened the door was that he was ready to talk now. Brother, what do you want to say? It's been 7 months since I had heard from him. He looked so lean and unkempt. I wondered how I could have fallen in love with a man like this. My man was in the kitchen cooking for me when my ex-boyfriend came in. I didn't want my man to see him. I was scared he was going to laugh at me when he sees the kind of man I was crying over. I want my ex never to come back to my house again. I was pushing him out of the house when the kitchen door opened all of a sudden. My ex turned to look at him. I could see his face change and his eyes went wide with shock. He shouted, Mr. Timmy, looked at me and started stammering. Without saying another word to me, he ran out of the house. I turned to my man and asked him if he knew him. That was when I found out that he was the owner of the company my ex-boyfriend was working at. So apparently he had fired my ex-boyfriend some weeks after he met me. Things had gone downhill from that point for my ex. He had not gotten another job after that. I think his new girlfriend couldn't take it anymore after a few months and had left him for another co-worker. Okay. This man had fired someone for me. Oh my god. This is sweet. Oh my god. Ah, this man had fired someone for me and he didn't even tell me anything about it. I didn't even know he owned a company. This new revelation only made me love him more. Why not? Oh my god. What is wrong with me? Oh my god. At this point, I think everything happens for a reason. If my ex had not treated me the way he did, I would never have met Timmy. My life is so different right now, and I am always smiling. Oh, Timmy has really proven to me that not all men are the same. Oh my god. See when you hear of a See when you hear of a story that ends with happy ending. Okay, how this is it? Story happy ending. I don't know, but this one he ended well. So, if you have watched to this point, thank you so much for sticking around. I really do appreciate you. I want you to tell me your opinion in the comment section, even if it is not about the story. Tell me your opinion about my videos, about my page, about the way I make videos, whatever it is that you're saying that I need to improve on. I would like you guys to tell me so I can improve. If you're saying something that I'm doing that you like, you can equally let me know. Give me the upload and correct my mistakes. I mean, you guys are the ones consuming my content. So let me know what you think I am doing right or not doing right in the comment section. Okay? And if you've not subscribed to my channel up to this time, please do want to subscribe, okay? Click on the notification bell so that whenever I bring up another interesting story, you'll be one of the first persons to get notified. And please support my other social media platforms. The links are in my bio. And if you want me to tell your story, go ahead to send me a message on TikTok and I will read your story and let you know whenever I do so. If you've not liked this video up to now, please do out to like and share to your friends. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.